like to call this meeting to order pursuant Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 20, hereby informing all attendees that a video and audio recording is being made of the meeting. If anyone else wishes to do so, they must inform the chair. Like to welcome Tim Seuss onto the board. Thank you. And our first matter of business is to restructure the board. Chair and vice chair.
Mr. Chair, I move that Buck Donovan be elected chair for the upcoming year. Second.
Any other discussion? I'm okay with that, if you guys are. Okay, thank you.
I didn't ask you, I did.
You really didn't. I was like, okay.
Executive decision.
All right, I'm going around the room. We'll vote. Conrad,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
and Buck Donovan, aye. Vice chair.
Can I nominate Peter?
You may.
Yeah.
Sure.
You gonna nominate?
You.
Oh,
You up for it? When I'm not around?
yeah, if I had better hearing, I'd know what was happening. Yeah, I'll do it again.
Yeah, second.
Second. Any further discussion? Going around the room, Conrad,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Peter,
Aye.
Buck Donovan, aye. Okay, so I'm remaining chair and Peter is vice chair. Next up, we have minutes.
Chairman, I move approval of the minutes as submitted with compliments to the pairs. I guess Colby, at least mainly, probably Brooke with some help. This is really, I've been at this, I guess, I don't know, 10 years or more. And when I began, the minutes were awful. And these are virtually perfect. And it's just been a real pleasure to read minutes of this quality.
Excellent, and thank you. And like we say, it's not, these minutes aren't for now, they're for, years from now when we have to go back and reference them, so they have to be thorough, but not too drawn out. That's good. Is there a second? And those are for, the date on those is May 11th.
Thank you. Yes, that's what I meant.
Is there a second? Dave second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Conrad,
Aye.
Tim,
Aye.
Dave,
Thanks.
Peter,
Aye.
Buck Donovan, aye. Correspondence, Brooke just handed me a couple here. We have, Great Barrington, public hearing for variance, Shelter Farm LLC on Hurlbut Road. Town of Lenox, special permits for an STR to extend their days, and this other one.
I think it's the same.
Yep, the same. Yep. Special permit. They have a restriction to how many days on their SDR. And then
75.
yeah, which is not a lot. So everybody goes for a special permit on those in their town. Next up, any public comment? They all have agenda items. Okay. We have a Form A, Zim and Arbiter. Leisurely.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird one, actually. So my name is Patrick McColgan. I'm a surveyor representing Rebecca in Labrador. Own property at 140 Wood Dock, which is really kind of like right at the very end. There's a cul-de-sac. And what they would like to do, the association, like to work with the neighbor and convey her part of the cul-de-sac. Can have the room to put in a garage because it's kind of up against the ledge. So if you see lot number 1. Yep. lot one here is what we're talking about. Currently, Rebecca owns lot number 12 on this plan. For the house lot there.
So the lot 12 would become the arc here?
This would be the arc of the road.
Yeah,
This would be the new street line.
The existing boundary of lot one is the black circle. One of the
Yes.
letters, lot radius.
Right here. It's existing.
So lot one and lot 12 are adjacent. They just have a round boundary right now.
Right. It gets up close to his house and he wants to put a garage here, but he can't meet setbacks. So
Oh, I see.
if they give him the road, they're not using any of this road. And if he gets this, then can meet his setbacks.
What are the X's?
The X's are ledge.
Oh,
That's solid ledge. So he really can't go anywhere.
Mr. Chair, I move that the board endorse this Form A. Okay. I got a question.
Sure.
let's do the motion, the second, and then we'll questions, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, motion to endorse, is there a second?
Second.
Dave seconds, okay, now we're on to discussion.
Yeah, just academic question, how this works. If Wood Duck Road was a public road, and a town approved a subdivision was granted years ago with a cul-de-sac at the terminus of the road, having the prescribed turning radius that's right here. And then it had a curved frontage here. This kind of application, if it was a public road, this would not be allowed, I would believe. Because it's a public road. It's not a public road, it's a private road. So if this is a private road owned by the HOA, I understand the HOA is seemingly going to,
Yeah, they're on board with this for sure.
right.
Yeah.
So the HOA had to approve the grant of this
They did.
sale agreement, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they did.
Uh,
In fact, they signed the Form A application.
So, they would have to agree to allow this alteration from what was a town approved subdivision that included cul-de-sac as shown on the plans. So are we granting a Form A as this was a simple modification of a property line? As it would be ordinarily be allowed by or be compliant in zoning? Or because this is a reconfigured cul-de-sac in a private street, is that okay? I've never seen this done before. Again, this is a.
It's actually, the fee and the dirt in the road is actually owned by the association. You're right, it's not public.
But it was subject to.
Right.
For-
Oh, I agree. If you go back in the sixties when the subdivision was approved, there was
Well, was-
probably a bylaw for
was
100
Beach
foot
Road even
radius
there
or
then?
something. But it may not have been for the whole thing. But all I'm saying is they haven't been using this in how many years?
Yeah.
There's a turnaround there. And that's the way it's been for all
And
these years.
usually cul-de-sac is for
Yeah.
safety.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
Yeah,
I just- it's an academic question.
Yeah,
If this is a public road, it was subject to a subdivision granted by a planning board 30 years ago. This would not be allowed. Again, because it's a private road, the HOA is agreeing to give up.
Yep.
That. I don't want to call it a polygon.
well, they're actually giving up the ownership. They may actually decide to keep the easement. You see, we don't need to have a setback from an easement. But you do need to have a setback from a property
That's
line.
right,
So,
there's what we're at, they might keep it. Keep the
yeah,
cul-de-sac,
they may keep the easement,
they're gonna maintain it.
but now he only has to maintain a setback from here, not from here.
Where's the background?
It's going right on the house.
Interesting.
The homeowners association.
Yeah, they're on board with this for sure. Yeah, because they don't use it
We,
and they're not gonna.
someday we will see what you're talking about though, at the top of the vias. Two cul-de-sacs, and when they extend the
Yeah.
roads, they usually do away with the cul-de-sacs.
Well, when you go to Otis Woodlands in Otis, they did all these turnarounds as they were building the road and they left them there and
Mhm.
what are you
Yeah.
gonna do with them?
And if you if you go back, look on a map, I think Mandalay Road, the first phase one,
No, I think you're right,
used to have a cul-de-sac that disappeared.
but that was a public road.
It was.
And this,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
now goes down too.
Yeah, down to the beach, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not dead ending anymore. It's
Yeah.
going down.
Don't get me wrong, I
But
don't
that-
have a problem with it, I just, it's an academic.
It's an
question.
interesting thought, yeah.
Yeah. Because it was a town approved subdivision at the time, say 30 years ago.
So this is the current road here. There's no construction that's being done to give the frontage to this lot there. This frontage exists on the current road that's
It
there.
does.
This
That-
one was-
His legal
Yeah,
frontage.
but this
was
frontage
in-
exists on lot one. This
Oh, yeah.
becomes the new frontage.
It is gotta be new frontage, and it does meet zoning,
Yes,
yeah, the same.
which is the key question.
It does, yes.
Yep.
Yep.
It's leisurely also.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's all I have.
Good. All right, take it to a vote. Conrad?
Aye.
Tim?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Donovan and I. Get signing. So we signed the plan paper one.
I see one
Oh,
right
yeah,
there, and I
yeah,
got one
yeah.
here, and I'm saying, okay, I'll just wait and see if that one works. If it works, we're good. Right?
I was like, Patrick was so happy the other day.
Yeah,
So
I'm
we
actually
better-
gonna have another one here pretty soon too.
Are you? Okay.
I'd love to know.
Sounds good.
I'll do
Go that way, yeah.
Business.
You wanna keep all the copies or how many do you? So you don't have to sign them now.
No.
I only got, I only got any you're gonna keep. Four? Okay.
Oh, on that one. Over here. My hat.
That's so fun.
All right.
Thank you. This one's yours. Enough. It must have been painted. That is.
This
Yeah,
your
It will.
same old ancient printer you're doing
I am.
stuff on?
I've been nursing these things since 1996.
You know what, we haven't.
I got parts from, I'm good to go. 3 more years, give me 3 more years.
These are not cheap. We have one for prints that work. It's always a problem, it's slow.
Well, the technology has a limit. He's hand wrapping them though.
Yeah.
That was a lost, that's a lost part.
What?
Hand wrapping.
Oh,
People,
God.
I've seen some really good gifted hand wrappers in my day. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that one.
Yeah, okay, this one's going to be cool.
The illegible hand.
Okay.
Here we go.
We're getting ready to start a park again.
Good.
The time for a hot summit.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
Pat.
you so
You
much.
said you got another one coming up?
I do.
Where's that?
On Maple or by the one you did before.
It is.
Yeah.
Who?
I think it's one where there's an accessory dwelling unit they did. Now that they have a.
Oh, yeah.
Cut it in half.
Swindlehurst.
Right, yeah, that's it.
Okay, all right.
But that would be probably.
Geez, you've done half the work up there already.
Yeah. And then
Thanks.
I've been in the game too long.
Yeah, when he did that one up there, he found a sliver of property that been paying taxes on for 40 years that I really didn't know. Right by where Corky used to live in the Quonset.
Yeah,
There's a sliver of land there in front of his place.
in front of it, yes.
Yep. And it was actually Clark. Some Clark. So
That's you.
I did too. That's how it goes. All right, next up, Mike Hewlig, Sharp Sterile, 480 Pleasant Street. Hello.
Mike Cooley, Berkshire Engineering. This is Alicia. We got
Okay.
chairs.
Okay.
Alicia Rossi
There we
with Sharp. We're here with kind of an informal, or at least to see if we can get some initial feedback from you.
What do they got happen?
So there's I guys all know Sharp, you know, the former Berkshire Sterile. They've got,
The KV building.
yep. So there's. If you've been by there, you see the kind of. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You've kind of probably seen the cars parked all over the place and lots of activity. So they've, we've got these, they've kind of been in the midst of, hey, Dave. Hey, man, good, how are you? In the midst of one project or another for the past bunch of years. They've been expanding product lines, expanding their services, and kind of as part of that, they've also added people. So in order to kind of support that, they've purchased the two lots kind of at the end of Marble Street. One was that little farmhouse that was on the corner. The other one is that existing little ranch that's right on the corner. Managed to be able to purchase those two parcels, and as now that they have that, they've got a kind of an opportunity to expand parking. They've got if you've been by here, they've got about 200 spaces right now, and they're kind of busting at the seams. Busting at the seams with vehicles and between employees, service providers, deliveries. They've got tenants. They're kind of up against a wall with parking. So we've put together a kind of a first run at what we think. This gets them another 100 spaces, and it does a couple of things. If you've been by there kind of at a time of day when people are kind of coming and going from work, that intersection on Route 102 and Marble Street it gets to be a bit of a prickly situation from time to time. Right now, there's two driveways that come off of the end of Marble Street. One was for the house that was already demolished, and one is for the existing ranch that's still there.
That be going to?
The idea is to keep the one that's furthest north. To keep this northern entrance, this is 102, to keep
Yep.
this north, that was to the old farmhouse. The idea is to leave that in place and allow access into this parking lot and have a small bridge across the kind of stream you see, that drainage that kind of floods from time to time. A concrete deck bridge across that. to get pedestrians, and if vehicles need to go across, they can also go across, but that would eliminate a lot of the kind of traffic situation with people coming out of Sharp, making a left on 102 and then a left on Marble. That intersection, I work just 200 yards across the street, and it's a common spot for issues. This, I think, would clean some of that up, and it would also allow easier access to parking if you were coming in. A lot of people come into Sharp through Marble Street, and they end up having to get on 102 and then turn into Sharp, and this would kind of do the same thing. It would just sort of smooth that process out a bit. One of the reasons we're here is this is an R20 zone. There's an R20 that kind of comes almost to the back of these lots. It kind of runs, it's a goofy last chunk of R20 in the area. Kind of surrounded by industrial with the quarry's here.
Yep.
Sharp is there, obviously, and across the street is everything else. So there is one house. There's a single family house where are we? Right here.
Yeah.
That's the brick house,
That's the breakouts.
with the chickens.
Yep.
Yeah, they've got roosters. Yeah,
Yep. Is that allowed?
we hear them at soccer practice.
Oh, yeah. We're not bad though. So we'd have to come to you for a special permit, and I try not to bother you guys with a sort of a preliminary discussion, but we thought it might be beneficial to get any feedback. The proposed lot is for 100 spaces. It would end up being pervious pavement to make the stormwater handling a little more reasonable. Otherwise, we would have an enormous basin. Right now, there's about 4 acres total between the two lots. About a quarter of that is eaten up by the power line easement. And so we end up with about 50,000 square feet of parking lot. So a little over an acre of parking lot on 4 acres of land. The other couple of pieces of this, the folks at Sharp had asked for maybe a pavilion. And there's probably some other zoning issues we'll have to do with, because these two lots the lot lines are kind of all over the place. The lot lines are kind of right through everything we're showing here. We might have to combine them into one lot.
Brooke, help me out with, fresh my memory, R20 parking with special permit, right? So, yeah,
Yeah, I think there's a way in the door anyway.
remember we did that a few years
Yeah.
ago?
Interesting a lot. too.
That's why you're needing a special permit, is because parking in R20 requires a special permit.
Right.
But- All those buildings are gone, right? Or will be gone?
Yeah,
The two
these
houses.
buildings are gone. This building will be gone. And the district line cuts through this.
Right,
patch.
But
Yeah.
if they're willing to, I mean, he's got so much work to do with that, drainage ditch, your bridge.
Yep.
This is almost minor.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
With, I mean, a stormwater runoff plan, all that is, yeah,
yeah, and we've got basin size, just to make sure we were looking at was not totally harebrained. Basins fit, stormwater basins fit with the impervious or with the pervious paving. Otherwise, I don't think we'd fit. I guess we were asking, again, I hate to kind of ask for off the cuff input, but if there's any off the cuff that we can.
these preliminary drawings are better than some of the final ones we get.
Well, we want to make sure it all fit.
I mean, with our latest master plan, I think, Sharp Sterile is that kind of niche, small, light industrial that the town needs, likes. We want to help them grow, I would say.
Employment.
Employment, yeah. I mean, if that parking lot's, KB never filled the parking lot.
Oh, this place is busy, and
Yeah, that's good.
there's more
I-
going on.
I don't think this,
Mike, you're gonna turn when you come off of the upper property, the old barn property.
Yeah,
Are you gonna have widen both pieces of road, main road,
We didn't plan on it, and right now there's, we would have a big apron in the parking lot coming out of there. You know, enough apron for vehicle to go either way. Yeah, we hadn't talked about what, the road is a little tight in that neighborhood, maybe we'll talk to DPW about. And there's no shoulders.
So the parking lot that you would like to build is the area shaded, is that right?
It is, yeah.
Getting there, right?
Yeah, it's the shaded area and the keeping that,
Yeah,
that's going.
yep. And then, when you say what did you say?
Pervious.
Non-impervious.
Pervious pavement. Yeah.
That just means like gravel, right?
No, it's asphalt. It gets put down just like asphalt. It lets water pass through it.
Huh, how do they do that? You put little pipes in it or something?
No, it's a coarser
Oh.
mix.
I see.
It doesn't have all the fine stuff in it.
You're really gonna have to do that?
I would love to say, no, we don't have to, but we do.
Yeah.
I hate it.
So if you
But
had
it-
impervious, you'd have to have a larger retention basin.
The basin blows up in size and it goes from so the base, even now, the basin is not nothing. Oops.
Galleys won't work.
We could start to put stuff underground. We would need a lot of them. We could. Yeah, we could have so we did pervious pavement
Burmese Bowl parking lot,
at Burmese.
is that kind of, did you do that
We
one?
did. And
Yeah.
it was like when it first went down, it was some guy brought his motorcycle and parked it and his kickstand went right through it. Because it was fresh and we get a phone call with somebody threatening a lawsuit because their motorcycle fell over them. You should have put something under your kickstand.
Yeah.
But that hardened up and turned into asphalt. Eventually.
And as far as, I mean, because you're putting a driveway on Marble Street, we might have some comments
Yeah.
about it. But if the people are going down Marble Street, they're gonna go down it anyway.
Yeah,
This
we're not adding.
is just gonna make it safer, so,
It's gonna make that intersection safer.
Yeah. cause I know just what you mean. They're coming out and taking a quick left and
Do it every day.
everybody's doing it every day.
Right.
Yeah,
So the thought is that's gonna help just the safety of that process and. Kind of once you're in across the bridge and a little walking path and then that's the front door right there, so it
okay.
provides pretty decent access. The other thing they had, Sharp had mentioned was and some of this is just anecdotal information, but a walking path and some landscaping, so this thing will be screened and landscaped. To be a little
And
less,
of course, you're probably lit also, but the modern lighting is all down,
yeah.
dark sky stuff, so,
You've got a spec in your bylaw about
yep.
what we can or can't do with the edges.
I mean, that house is higher elevation, so that is better, I think.
Oh, the one.
Yeah, the closest house.
It is.
Yeah.
Those are kind of, so that will all run back, I'll run back to the.
What do you guys think?
Need it?
I
Love it.
I kind of like what I see, though, you know. I'm sure Mike's gonna run into something else that's.
We'll find something
Real
that'll.
plan.
In terms of prepping for a special permit hearing, what are you planning in terms of like, are you gonna do a traffic study for this? Are you going to?
My sense was we don't need a traffic study, but if somebody tells me we need one,
It
As long
seems like this could only possibly improve the traffic at that intersection, but
and that was my take, and we can do sort of a more modest traffic study done by a civil engineer, not a traffic engineer.
someone counting cars.
Yeah, we've done them.
Yeah.
Not a traffic guy, but
Just get the IT figures.
yeah, I run the numbers and I now it's pretty obvious improvement and.
Think so.
Yeah. I mean, it's just even a data point, like how many cars are making a left directly into a left.
Yeah,
I mean, I assume it's like a good 60 employees coming into the parking lot every day or doing
yeah,
exactly that. So
yeah, it's, coming down Marble Street in the morning, there's always a few who are pushing me to go
I was
fast.
gonna say, I'm the one on my break, so I don't. look at me.
I didn't see you.
Set a good example.
That's right.
And my second question is this in the floodplain? by any
Nope.
chance?
Thankfully, no.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
good.
So
Yeah.
you're not gonna have to see Concom on
We
this?
are.
You are, yeah, because of
For
the
the drainage.
drainage, right?
Wetland,
Okay.
yeah, this is all wetland and there's a, then and there
But
turns
you
into
avoid,
intermittent stream and so,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've
you
seen
avoid the
that.
100-year flood.
I've seen that flood pretty good there.
Yeah,
So,
Intermittent or
yeah,
Perennial.
that's intermittent.
what is it?
This is perennial back here, the one that runs around, but this,
Perennial? Where is it?
this one right here, that runs right through Willowbrook.
It's perennial.
Yep, that runs through and then underneath.
And this one's intermittent.
Yep,
And everything is is a flag wetland.
that's flagged, yeah,
So this is gonna be within the buffer.
it is, yeah, a chunk of that's in the buffer.
So that'll be a conservation action.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We're on the conservation for sure.
Okay, and is the zone line shown here? I have,
It's not even on there, so it's on a,
roughly where is it? Do you know?
oh, it's 2/3 of the way back through. I think it comes kind of up here and does this. I think all of this is in.
So this is all
I think,
industrial.
I think a piece of this lot is. Yeah, it's probably right through here somewhere, Conrad.
So it's R20 in front of it.
It's R20 up, this is R20 and this is industrial back here. I have it.
right here. A little blurry, but
Yeah,
it basically follows Marble Street.
Up to here,
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
yeah. How far deep does it go?
I mean, that's the same thing. We don't know.
Yeah, so that's this,
Yeah, there,
I'm
you
sorry,
got
I
it there.
put it on so puny, but that's the. Like, that's the intersection, that's the lot. So if it's half the lot or something like that, I'm sorry, it came out of the
Either
computer that way.
it doesn't really matter if it's in by 10 feet or 100 feet.
Yeah.
He still has to do it. So,
Yeah, we're in,
I mean, it's definitely in there because you're coming up to the road.
yeah, but, yeah, we're
Yeah, there's no,
in your realm for sure.
How's that pervious paving hold up over
Well-
time?
Burmese Bowl's been there for 10 years now. And if it goes down good, if they put a good base under it and compact it right, it's good. And then they have to clean it up every so often. But this one doesn't have a catch basin, it just sheet run off to the back, so it's a little easier to,
And you have a frost freezing, cracking.
it drains, it all drains. There's an under drain system under it, so whatever gets through it drains also. And the soil in the area, the soil is good. So we've got kind of a combination of good soil and a good cross section, and that's similar to the Burmese Bowl they
And
had.
your groundwater elevation roughly?
It's probably 4 feet roughly,
Roughly?
yeah. And you're kind of up, this is up on a bit of a knoll and towards the back,
This area here. is-
yeah, towards the back,
She flows this way.
towards the back, it kind of runs down. We're 50 feet away from that low spot in the back. So, and we're a bit up. I never liked the pervious pavement myself, but
Mm.
it gives us a way.
Do you need storm scepters on this at all?
We meet all the numbers with sheet runoff, and they give you a good removal rate with the pervious pavement.
With suspended solids?
Yeah. Yeah, and it goes into the basin, so it goes to a basin and then it'll run out into the. Kind of like it does now into the wetland.
The 4-bay or?
Yeah, yep, 4-bay and a basin, and yeah, it's, and a little bit of grassy strip along the edge of the parking lot to catch that first crummy flush of what might get through, but
So is there any curbing in here or just sheets?
it's all sheet, yeah,
Sheets.
we'll leave it all sheet so the plows don't peel off the curbing and we tried keeping it as simple as we could, and they're interested in doing some nice landscaping and trying, or the landscaping will help too, it'll help some of the runoff and provide some screening from
Yeah.
what people might.
Were there some plans for building expansion here somewhere along the way or
Not in any immediate plan.
not
no, but
immediately?
if everything goes well and we do have the business expansion that we're hoping,
Yeah.
that would be the next.
And if that were to go, where would that,
So on the existing site that we have now, the building,
Hmm.
it would come one side to the other.
Yeah, so there, I mean, there's room there. There's not much room out back. There's kind of, I guess there's a little room up front too. Not much, well, there is room up front. Yeah,
There
there's-
is, yeah, it's currently parking.
Mike, on the bridge, that's gonna have a concrete deck.
Yep.
Is it gonna be just separated with painted lines?
As far as yeah, it'll have railings on either side because it's gonna be up a few feet above that swale. And yeah, it would be wide enough for vehicles and for pedestrian. So probably,
Is, truck access gonna be the original driveway?
it's gonna stay, primary truck access will stay the main driveway, so we're not sending.
It wouldn't make it through the. then-
Be able to-
Well, it couldn't make it, but they. You get people to try to.
Somebody will try. Right. Somebody will try.
You own all this too.
Yep. Right, yeah, this is sharp back here and this is the. They do a good job with kind of cleaning up, so yeah, that's that lot. So that's one lot, and then this other lot is two lots, but it's kind of a pie shaped piece,
So hypothetically,
and the rest of this is Berkshire.
if you still own this, but you have a Eversource or Natural Grid or whatever it
Yeah,
is,
yeah, two power companies there that,
but it's an easement, but
Right.
you can still park under an easement.
we could, yeah.
So as long as you don't build under it, you
We
can,
asked them, they said maybe, definitely maybe, come ask us, and they kind
I think you can still do it. Nice to ask, but I
of,
think.
I know, they make you go through their, pay your $1,500 to ask them a question, and
Yeah. So I think there's opportunity here to expand your parking
yeah.
if you need
I
it.
think there was two, they they didn't kind of kick and scream at the first time we asked them the question, but they said, okay,
But typically it's not a problem unless you build, they say you can't build
they
under it,
don't want a building.
but you can park under it.
So there's more room, and right now we've got 100 spaces out of this, and it's
Yeah.
kind of gets them over the hump anyway, and,
So we don't really see any problems with it, right?
No.
Hmm.
No, I mean, it's just gotta do a special permit.
and I
That's-
think site plan review in there somehow too is,
Yeah, that's required for a special permit, so,
We can do both in the same hearing.
yes,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, you submit it and we'll schedule a date for a special permit hearing. Your bigger one's gonna be the Concom, getting them together and deciding on something.
I think they're already aware.
Yeah.
So we'll schedule it pretty concurrent.
and I don't want to confuse the issue, so they're in the process of kind of getting teed up to do some work. They've asked about a temporary lot, some temporary parking and laydown area for some material. I don't think you need to see that, but I didn't want to have a whole bunch of stuff out there and have someone say, hey, why don't
What
you
is-
talk to the planning board? Temporary. Yeah,
Like some work trailers for
How long?
contractors. Oh, I think it's 4 months.
so
But
it's in this,
But it wouldn't be would it be for the parking lot or for other?
It's for the existing footprint work that we're doing inside the interior.
Yeah, that wouldn't be this.
We just didn't want to take up our already, cramped
Yeah.
parking with
I
their,
think it would be a good time to get a jump start on this.
well,
Not
how do you do a parking lot underneath the existing, trailers?
first.
Do the parking lot first.
well, I think we're gonna have to really step on the gas to do
All right, we'll
that.
see you next month. Yeah.
Not a problem.
See you in a few minutes, yeah.
No, I mean, I don't see an issue at all.
You got a lot of the work done here already.
It's kind of why we did that bylaw for this situation.
Okay. All right, we'll get to work.
We got another win.
I
We did
I
something-
second your sense on this. I think Lee is extremely lucky to have an active, successful manufacturing facility in our boundary.
I mean,
We should be grateful that it works and that they're successful.
yeah, thank you. it's, you check off all the good boxes, you know. The wages are good, the intelligent, you require a skilled workforce, which brings a different clientele to our community, so. Yeah, it's all a win for
The
everybody.
odor's not too bad.
Mike,
I'm sorry.
while you're.
Okay, okay.
And some of us were here when Sarah first came in. And the accusations about that one, and glad it's all worked out. We're in support of it, so
Thank you.
somewhere.
With, I enjoyed posting some members of the town, committees to our site last October. And, I think it's, a lot of folks in the town aren't even aware of what we're doing over there. So I appreciate that. You're, asking good questions, and this board included, to spread the word.
Great,
Thank you for support.
okay. Very good, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for,
We'll be back with that.
Get the, yeah, get it in here. We'll get it done.
okay. All right, folks, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Okay. Look, bylaws,
Okay.
these bylaws that you put in here are almost half the size of our current
I
bylaws.
know, you're skipping ahead. Ms. Baker.
So, I first want to get an update from CJ. I spoke with him earlier today. Work is going to continue on what we want, what we've been working on throughout the summer. We're still waiting to hear back from the EEA grant that we applied for. Hopefully we'll hear back from them this month, which we applied for technical assistance. And that'll build on this work regarding the definitions, parking requirements, things like that, really the intricate details that we wanted to add into the use table stuff. And then he will send out email for the working group within the week, to meet later this month to continue working on our, use table. We're still hopeful to potentially get the use table done by this special town meeting that we haven't yet scheduled. I also told CJ that we're gonna be really busy with the clean energy stuff, so if we don't get to it quite yet, I think that that's okay personally, but I would ask your opinions. I think that some of the stuff that we're working on will have to get incorporated into the use table anyway. So.
Yeah.
I did tell CJ that, CJ is aware of that. CJ wants to get the use table done as soon as possible. That's the first step. Yeah.
Kim, do you know what we're talking about here?
Yes, I think we had a joint zoning planning board meeting with CJ.
Yes.
To basically pivot
So,
our bylaws.
turns out that my impression is that producing a simple table of uses is going to require a large number of judgments about resolving ambiguities that are in the existing bylaw. And I think CJ and his team up there in Pittsfield is probably the best qualified people of all to do it, available to us. But it's taking a lot of work, and I was originally hoping that we could get that work done in time for a September special meeting, but I'm beginning to understand that it's less and less likely, especially if this board spends our time on the power stuff. What is it? What's the acronym?
Clean energy, battery energy storage.
The best stuff.
It's one of them.
We have to do with the best stuff, and it's just luminous as what we've seen so far. We may be the stalling point rather than CJ, but I assume he's working hard on it. Conrad and I have met with him. How many times, Con? Once, twice?
Twice.
Twice, yeah. And so, and we should meet again.
Yeah, so hopefully, we'll schedule a meeting for the working group, so you guys and me, myself and CJ, this month. So we'll have something to help.
Maybe we should invite Tim in if he wants to join that. Oh, that would make it a majority, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You got a forum.
This week, too.
Okay. Sorry, Tim.
It's okay.
So that is one half of what I wanted to give for my little updates. What I provided for the board is the stuff that I would love kind of homework for you all. So by next meeting, I would love to get some initial feedback of what You all are thinking for some basic battery energy storage system requirements, really what size would trigger, I think sticking with the clean energy, like what they recommend for the state. So I'm skipping ahead. I provided for you all the state draft model bylaws, which again, these were adopted or put out last October. We have not yet seen final bylaws from the state.
They don't say this is interim.
Mm-mm.
It
No, it's
says
not.
models only bylaw.
Yeah.
It didn't say it's an interim suggestion.
No,
But they are reviewing, they are revising this.
they're revising it. They've been revising it now for 6 months. So I don't know when that will be done. I was told last week that they'll be done last week. They're still not done. I printed these for you today. So I don't know when that will be done, and I don't know what changes they'll be making. I have no idea what direction they're going in. I assume it could be the sizing, or it could be what they suggest to be by right. They have a little chart with tier 1, tier 2, tier 3
with definitions.
with definitions, and then they suggest what should be by right and what should be special. The only one that I don't know what the board feels about is that in the, I believe it's the industrial zone, that larger projects, they suggest it's a site plan review by right. So looking with the board review the comment on site plan review. And there'd be no special permit required. Other than that, what they suggest in that table doesn't look too crazy to me. Some of their definitions, I still have some questions. I did comment those or prepare those in comments that I submitted to them in October. And these were or right before October or right when they release these, when they had their comment periods open. Again, some of those questions still haven't been answered because they haven't changed anything. So I do not think that this is the perfect draft model bylaw. I do not think we should just drop this here. I think that there are some questions, but I think that we can incorporate a lot of what's here, kind of tone it down.
We're just so we could have food for thought, just some examples of your questions.
Some of their definitions didn't make sense. Here, I'll have my sheet with
Putting you right on the spot
you did put me on the spot. Let me pull it up real quick, and I can.
so that we can, have an idea what you're thinking.
Yeah, let me pull it up. I like the tier systems. I think that's something that we should adopt. We're going to go along that line.
I'd like that better. One of these towns had boy, they broke it down very minute. Like, no, just do.
Some of their definitions I don't think is needed. Something I think the board should think about is, would we like to adopt some sort of community benefits plan? They do recommend to do that with larger projects. It kind of reminds me of the host agreements with cannabis.
Yep.
It's not legally binding, but it's show good faith for a large corporation to come in. However, again, that would be what we consider large, but not what is large, as in not what would go before the energy siting. Because anything above 25 megawatt hours automatically goes to the state. And we have the municipality can weigh in and we can give opinions, but anything above that size, the state is the permitting body for that. I think that we should review what NFPA has, which is the National Fire Protection Association. I haven't reviewed them in depth, but I do know that some of the NFPA definitions go against some of these definitions from what Chief Brown has said. I've talked to Chief Brown about this in depth, and Chief Brown is happy if you guys have any questions about anything with battery energy storage systems and our fire department. Happy to come to the next meeting, or if you have any questions, you can direct them to me and I can channel them to him and have a response for the next meeting as well. What else? The standalone primary use versus the co-located use. I don't know if that should be within this section, or if this is for standalone and then co-located we associate with something else. That was something that now looking back, I think I might have different views, but originally when this was put out in October, we hadn't really heard. It was typically co-located with solar, and then on the rare occasion, standalone. Now at this point, I'd say it's about 50-50. We haven't really seen them with any other clean energy models, not really with wind turbines, not with any anaerobic digestive facilities. I wouldn't say that's out of the question though. So that was one original question that I had that I think kind of changed my mind on.
They keep The only thing they change is the by right on the tier two.
Mhm. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
can I ask you some questions about this?
I can try to answer.
Well, I guess I want to make a couple of comments and maybe some questions.
Hit me with it, Peter.
So this looks to me like this is drafted by somebody who is trying to be very comprehensive
Mhm.
and hasn't got the first idea about what parts of this are already in a bylaw.
Yeah.
So for example, there's a list of things that have to be submitted with an application.
Mhm.
We already have that in our bylaw.
We have many.
Maybe there are a few extras that could be added, but
Yeah,
my point is that we should not just add, 15 or
Oh,
20
no.
pages because some guy in Boston didn't bother to look up our bylaw.
I don't think we should.
So we should sort through it carefully to see what's already covered
Yes.
and reduce the bulk.
But- All of this alternative energy is gonna have a different permitting process than our standard site plan, standard
And
special
There's a
permit.
different jurisdiction, depending on the size.
Yeah.
How else does the process go?
It's gonna go through a single,
primarily, it is.
Primary.
They can choose to do that process. They don't have to. They can
Okay.
choose to go through every other avenue normal way. So no applicant has to go through the consolidated permitting process. I don't see why they would. And I already know of people that on October 1st are going to see with the consolidated.
But the consolidated permit is different in a couple of only minor ways, right? The first is they come to a designated person.
Yeah.
Which we already have a designated person,
right?
so. I don't know that that's fundamentally different, and then there's a time limit on it. Which is
There's-
already a problem. And already exists in special permits, at least
Mhm.
in some cases, there's some time limits.
The biggest change that we see between this and that is that all the pre-filing requirements. So before the clock starts, there's meetings that's required, postings that's required, stakeholder engagement, and none of that is controlled by the municipality. That's all by the applicant. However, the municipality has to keep track of that stuff.
So are
So
the meetings with us?
no, not necessarily. They could be. They also don't have to be. Anybody that they deem necessary,
The applicant deems necessary?
any relevant stakeholders, interested parties.
So the applicant decides who the relevant stakeholders are?
They hope
And the
they have their own public hearing.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Are we
And that-
invited or not?
I think it depends who the applicant is, right? We can't tell them who they need to invite. We can give suggestions.
Okay.
They can meet with the local government representative and then we go through it.
Nice.
So you at least noticed us?
Um,
I-
yes, if it's posted in a place that you'll see it. They have to be posted in 2 different public places. That does not include your legally required posting locations. That could be the post office, it could be
Even,
the library.
even if they do that, they're still gonna end up coming to us.
Yes, they will eventually come to us as soon as that's complete, but you all might not. really
What
know.
process? The special permit process?
The consolidated permit process.
Which
Consolidated.
is again described specifically in the law and the regulations?
Separate regulation than that, but yes, and there are other draft.
But they have to
models.
meet, once they file into that, they have to meet our zoning
Yes.
bylaws on it.
Okay,
It's a stacked tiered process,
So they-
a different process that our regular process lives within.
so it's a sequential thing. They do their process first and then we do our process?
Yes, we just have
But their
a 10-month really time window.
preliminary stuff is acquiring the land or getting at least
An
a
easement or an
easement,
agreement.
right of purchase, getting all that paperwork down first. You know, similar to any other development, then the clock's not ticking, then they come to us.
The clock
So,
starts ticking
it-
after whoever the local government representative is, which we still haven't designated officially. As soon as they see the application's complete, that's when the time starts.
So
There's a whole-
my second point, I'm getting discouraged about my first point about whether we can reduce the volume of this thing at all. But I'll leave that to you to form judgment on. But my second point is, I was hoping that we could consolidate battery energy storage, solar generation, and maybe other kinds of energy systems into a single chapter in
Yes.
our bylaw. Is that
Yes,
plausible?
we will.
Okay.
That's the only way it really makes sense, because right now, our bylaw, I also realize that wind is similar to solar, where there's two kind of separate sections, that one has more definitions, the definition section, and then one has more of the steps with it. So the plan is to have, and you all can workshop the name, a green energy, clean energy, renewable energy section, whatever you all want to name it. And then it will have the solar, battery, wind. If we create an aerobic digestive facility, because that's the last protected use, clean energy, that is part of the consolidated permitting process. And then add in consolidated permitting into that section. And then that way it's a whole chapter of all of our requirements. And then down the line, if the state adds in hydroelectric or hydro, because they don't have that right now, it's protected, but it definitely could add it. We could just add that to that section. And then that way we don't have to keep rewriting sections and adding. And they'll all be sequential.
And what if somebody wants to build a gas-fired electric generating plant in Lee? We don't even have jurisdiction over it, do we? Isn't that state jurisdiction?
Depends the size. I think. Typically, state would at least.
Look that up, would you? Was that,
Cogen plant.
yeah, you know, or a peaking plant or something like
Yeah.
that. I mean, we have a gas line running through the town. So,
3 of them.
Yeah, DOER, yeah.
Those are 3 in there.
DOER has said that they are not having any regulations for these yet, for those yet. They did talk about that the last meeting was that. Coming down the line could be,
yeah,
we don't, and then that could, we could adopt something to follow in that section. That way it's a little cleaner and going forward, we won't have to edit.
anyway, having a chapter on electric generating facilities and energy collection systems makes sense. I don't know if we have to have the word green in it, but seems like it's green or fossil, we would still want to have pretty much the same processes. At least that's my view at the outset.
Yeah, you guys, let me know what names you're thinking. We can talk about that later down the line.
Unless we're preempted. We're preempted for all the fossil stuff by the state, and you don't need to worry about it.
I'll look into that. But anyway, so I provided you all,
Is El Tresco still online?
It's found out discontinuing.
Yeah.
the state again,
Peak, right?
yeah, I think so. I don't really like, I think it's too bulk. I think it's too verbose. I think the fruits of it that we can take, I don't think we should adopt. But I wanted to provide you all with the guidance that we have so far for the state. Again, I don't know what will be changing when they adopt their final bylaws for BES.
What's Carver and Groveland?
So those are 3 that I've seen recently that have existing battery energy storage system bylaws. Those are just examples. I wanted to provide to you what other,
State got involved.
a little bit of both. Some of them are editing them out, some have had edited them, but those are primarily before the state was involved. I just wanted to provide examples of what other municipalities have been doing, were doing, and some of them, I haven't looked through them all to find tooth comb. But some of them you can see how they can easily translate what they had to meet really, again, the primary language that will have to change to make it harmonious with the state is instead of total size and square footage or acreage, the megawatt hours or megawatts or kilowatts or, the energy that's stored or created. Because that seems how the state's actually quantifying sizes of machinery and things like that.
Is that quantified here? It doesn't seem to be. No, what's the tier 1, tier 2?
There.
It does that.
it's
That.
fine.
Yeah.
The definition?
On
Yeah,
the bottom
the
of page
definition.
2 are the definitions of tier 1, tier 2, tier
Yeah.
3. But they're not bold, so.
But even, so what they have here, they've changed, right? That's a good example. So they have tier 3 of being above 10 megawatt hours. We now know, I believe what they're maybe they won't, but what we're looking at, the magic number is typically 25 megawatt hours. That's the threshold for, especially solar or wind, the generation.
Generate,
Above
right.
that is when it's gonna go to the state, below that's when it goes to us. So I think that this is when they were looking
And
at,
we already figured out with current technology, a 25 megawatt, we just don't physically have enough land for it
depends what we're looking at.
Or
For
solar
generation.
generator.
for solar
Megawatt hour. Without,
megawatt.
without BESS.
We have plenty for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's more compact.
Oh, yeah.
I just went, I don't
They
have my
don't,
notes.
that's not generation, so you can't really. It's storage, not yeah.
I don't have my notes with me, but I just went to a presentation. I can send you all the numbers along the way, but the DOER gave us a rough translation of how many megawatt hours equals how many acres or how many thousand feet. So I'll send that to you.
So you're saying that this note where they say best with a capacity of 100 megawatt hours or greater, they're changing that threshold?
Oh, sir, sorry.
For the storage.
Yep.
I have a comparison. Here the town meeting that for energy storage. And that's asked for speak up and for this comparison idea. Because we have storage.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah, that's what where we're at with it.
Norbert.
Norbert,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. What do you have for ideas?
Doesn't mean just have to stay.
What's that?
Stay.
Yeah, could you come on up and say your name and
Yeah.
what you represent? Come on up here.
Thank
Is
you.
the chair still here?
Yeah, it's here right there. Do you want to put it?
Thank you.
Norbert Johansen, I live in South Lee.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you first.
Norbert
Norbert.
Johansen, I live in South Lee.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks to give me the opportunity to speak up about energy storage. I don't know what the need is for this town. Energy storage or also energy winning process and storage and transfer to serve the households or the companies.
Actually, how it would happen is, an energy producer would want to put up a storage. It wouldn't be us doing it. It'd be an energy producer. So we're just trying to figure out the whole permitting procedure and how we go about that.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard about liquid air energy storage compared to a battery, for example, or a dam like bigger. We knew how the Hoover Dam looks like and
Yeah.
how it works. Or the liquid air storage, energy storage is way safer compared to battery systems. It does not have any toxic or exotic metals like nickel, cadmium,
How's it work?
cobalt. It works the air that you have everywhere. It's medium, easy to collect. It will be compressed and released down to the liquid medium. And then you store it on low pressure liquid air in an insulated container. That's the storage process. You invest the energy and storage, and then you have the release process. With the valve, the liquid air will be pumped with a pump and touch through a heat exchanger the different temperature, which expands the liquid air, and you win the energy. It drives through the turbine, and operates an electric generator to produce the electricity. That's the system how it works. So you have simple understanding process. You have steel. You have two things what is a little bit critical. This is like the refrigerator. Behind the refrigerator, you have this freezing compartment which freezes the air into a liquid medium, and then you have the insulated container itself.
Yeah.
So it's not sensitive to heat differences or temperature differences like batteries. Specifically, lithium lithium batteries are very sensitive to overheating. And we don't want to imagine what happens when a battery bank starts burning, getting fire, toxic exhausting. I think we don't want more about this toxic things here in this town. New England has 3 companies that have experience, and they're dealing with liquid air energy storage. 3 different major in the New England area. So it's not plain theory what I'm talking here. I personally not representing a lobby or something. This is just a proposal to fire up their idea about compare more environmental friendly possible solution compared to batteries.
We're basically just looking if somebody comes in and wants to do this, our guidelines and zoning for them, which would probably a system like that would fall under the same thing.
Use for wind
Yeah.
turbine.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're not deciding what, we're not building it, we're not putting it up, we're not soliciting anybody. We're just, if somebody comes in, we have to have some zoning set up for them. And the state has this new, it's a whole renewable initiative. So this, like she said, the common the permitting system. That's their new way of doing things, streamlining it. Boston wants more renewables, so Western Mass has to deal with it.
This could definitely be something that, not that we write our bylaw for, but we have accessory
Yeah, it would.
kitchen
Yes.
turbine.
Yeah,
So I think in the proposed definitions, this does not count as a BESS.
Not,
no, it wouldn't.
no,
Because it's not electrochemically stored energy.
Right.
It's a generator.
Yeah, this is
It's like
stored
the,
mechanically.
Yeah.
And then,
Reminds me of, what is a bear swamp with the water, how they store the water. It's a hydro storage,
Pump storage.
pump storage, yeah. Yeah, when they have excess electricity, they pump it to a higher elevation. Then let it go when they need the
yeah.
peak, which is great.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Norbert, this is not a planning board question. I'm just curious if you know the science at all. So you take this bunch of air, you chill it, you compress it, you chill it, you compress it. And pretty soon, different things start to precipitate out. But air is oxygen, nitrogen, argon, other things. How low does it have to go? Do you know how cold it has to get?
minus 320 degree Fahrenheit, and it shrinks down by minus 700 times.
Yeah, that's wonderful. What a great idea.
Yeah.
Do you know what just offhand, do you know which molecule liquefies last, which has got the lowest temperature?
I don't know.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen, you think? Yeah, that's pretty cold.
Or, I mean,
Uh,
helium, what, helium probably?
There's helium in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have paid attention in chemistry.
Well, I knew, I told you
Right,
it wasn't gonna be a.
I'm wondering if you
question,
can
but
even get
It's very interesting.
cold enough to liquefy the helium in a commercial system like that.
That's like 3 degrees Kelvin.
Yes, so it's something ridiculous like that,
Absolute
yeah.
zero.
Yeah, I mean, there's one disadvantage is the efficiency is not the greatest. It is for long-term, larger amounts considerable.
More efficient.
Yeah, it has a higher life expectancy. The batteries and the solar is limited. Need 5 years, depends.
Plus, if the refrigeration fails, you just open a vent and it releases it without any
Air.
harm. right?
There,
It's
yeah.
just air.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's air from
Oh, a great idea.
I mean,
Never heard of it.
if you're thinking about temporary energy storage to provide energy for the town of Lee,
We aren't,
you
that's not us.
I don't know what's I did not know what the requirements are or what the topic is.
We just react to.
No, we're just, if someone comes in, we have to be prepared.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. So like a system like that, probably,
We should. This is a good example of something that we don't think of yet, but I mean, the state could throw this in a few years
we
from
could
now.
put
So
that in as
maybe
they,
we should have something that says like any accessory storage use must get a special permit from the planning board. That's not yet listed.
Well,
Something.
any energy storage system intended to provide electric connection, right?
yeah.
We can wordsmith it. But the intent behind it, this is a great example of something that is not necessarily super mainstream yet, but I mean, Norbert said, there's 3 companies that do it. Who's to say people aren't gonna hop on this train?
Yeah.
And like everything, technology will improve.
Yeah, and things change.
Like we were saying, it's interesting,
From my former lifestyle, we have personal experience with solar system and a lithium batteries system for private household. And it was expensive and it was always a little bit challenging to keep the batteries monitored.
yeah,
Even the lithium, which has better holding capacity now than the older battery systems.
yeah.
So
They still short out once in a
and
while.
the temperature thing, personally, we were interested in buying a Tesla electric car. And then we decided buying a hybrid car because we weren't sure how this works in the winter here in Massachusetts with a battery in the car. That was our motivation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Not too bad.
battery, when you have a battery bank, which has a room like this full of battery and you have temperature issues, it's not funny.
No, but they're making it work. And that's, we're not the science part of it.
Yeah.
We're the zoning part
We're
of it.
also talking about sodium batteries, right? Sodium is the larger ion, lithium. Harder to fit into the microscopic spaces, but safe, right?
Yeah, also there's development going on with plane with the carbon. I think carbon is a major medium battery. Like you said, it's always something.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah. So this is easy to understand. It's mechanical and safer, and it's cheaper. It's definitely cheaper than this.
So,
high tech.
Norbert, do you have like a handout like that? Maybe you could.
I can send it to anybody who wants to have this.
maybe-
Send it to me, Norbert, I can send it out to everybody.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay. That'd be great. Good information. Thank you.
Who would like to have a paper? You can write down my email address.
Have your email address.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yes, so thanks for your time.
Yeah.
This is,
Hopefully, maybe we'll see one of them.
If you wanna look over that, Norbert, that's fair. So that's an example of.
no, I kind of want to go find.
Regulation.
Who,
Can I-
where does it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who does it?
Can I take a look?
Yeah.
First started
Curious.
kind of talking about.
If you wanna look at it, if you're
Yeah.
curious.
thank you.
Have to change
we have-
it to wattage.
Our solar stuff does.
Yeah, but weren't there only a couple
Very
areas of town where it might potentially happen?
That
A large
was it.
project might come in,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
we just have to be really compliant with
Yeah.
what the state wants.
With what the state
Knowing
wants, yeah.
that there's probably only a handful of spots where.
Right.
Large development
Well-
could actually happen.
Like I was telling Brooke, with the technology, okay, we say so many megawatts compares to this many acres right now. In 10 years,
Yeah, it's already.
it
changed.
might be a lot different.
Yeah.
I mean, in the last 10 years, just your solar panels have almost 50% in size. They
Yeah.
generate better. So,
All right.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good one. Yeah.
We're always here. But, so Brooke, looking through this quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Don't you yes me. A lot of it is is the same, you get in back to the, I call them design standards.
Yeah,
It's all the stuff that would be part of the whole chapter.
thank you, Norbert.
Thank you, Norbert.
I think the stuff that I really would love for you to think about and get feedback on are community benefit agreements or benefit plans. That'd be something we'd be interested for large scale projects, not just battery, but that's insane. I also would love for you guys to take a gander at the, we don't have a section like this really completely listed out. We do have decommission, but their operation and maintenance plan and their emergency response. It's A through H. And we don't have, I mean, we have like a sentence in our decommissioning section that says like you must have one, but this has a lot more specificity that I don't know if the board would want to adopt or not. I don't think it'd be a bad thing to actually have this listed out in our bylaws and say you have to show all of these as we have required. Those are the big changes. Also, and this is something that I know is going to come up and I can't talk too much about it. It's not on the agenda, but I've been in discussion with different individuals, different projects, setbacks. What setbacks are they staying? And you don't have to answer this now, so please think about it. Some municipalities have it, is that it's staying within the district setbacks. Some have it as utility setbacks. Typically how it depends if it's a standalone or accessory. Should we have that where standalone has to be like a new building, right? Like a dwelling or like a structure?
Are you
And-
talking with the best or everything in general?
Everything in general,
Because
Certainly
we already did address setbacks with the solar.
certainly.
That was a big discussion. Remember that one?
So I want us to make sure that we're on the same page. If we
But-
want them to go exactly how solar is, great. If we want them to be different, great.
Well, I think the best has a definite,
They
there's a
say,
safety setback.
they say in here, installations must comply with all setbacks for the zoning district where they're located. And then they give more specifics where people or municipalities could have more specifics. And then they note the NFPA's about the minimum separation of 10 feet. I would just love for you all to let me know next meeting or send me an email or right now if you want to discuss what you think, because I know already there's discussions that like accessory, if we had an accessory best, would it be like a utility? Or it'd be like 10 feet off the side setback. Or the front setback, or should it stay with our current zoning standards for setbacks for standalone structures?
What's our fire chief say?
I think 10 feet. He's good as long as there's some separation. But
I need to know more about the kind of danger that a lithium-based huge battery offers.
yeah, I will say,
And I don't know where you would find that, but before I can say 10 feet or 50 feet or 500 feet.
Well,
I would need to know what is the risk quantitatively of catching fire? What is the method for putting the fire out? What kind of equipment?
internal
fire suppression, for example. What kind of equipment needs to be mobilized and placed where? And number three, what kind of emissions, air emissions are likely, and does that require greater separation than for a normal house, which is what our zoning is based on?
Or do we have any control of that because the state's got control?
Is the state dictating that?
No,
State is
We-
dictating a
we can
maximum
do-
setback?
no, all the state's saying is we can't unreasonably.
I know some of those answers, to those questions. I do want to say lithium right now is industry standard. However, a couple of the projects that might be coming down our pipeline, the batteries are not lithium. They are, I believe, sodium based, but they might be changing that as well.
Yeah, this is
So-
talk about a solid state.
Yes, or gel. There's a lot of now safety gel-ish put within the batteries that still conducts electricity, doesn't catch on fires easily. What the industry standard is now for fire suppression typically is you let it. You surround it, you don't let it spread, but you don't go in and fight it for a system. That's
Still all lithium is burned.
because there's no suppression that you can actively do that will really suppress it very.
So what are the gases coming out of it? Lithium
I don't-
sulfide?
That's the
Yeah.
question I'm not so sure of, and you
Yeah.
would have to like, if this were to happen, I'm sure that we'd call in some hazmat teams to be, monitoring for the next week or so. I will happily ask the fire chief to weigh in on danger and potentially come to the next meeting if we want to continue this discussion then. But I've been in some conversations with him and I know that we talked about that also. Just having experience now with some fire departments, typically, we don't want to send our people into an area that's just prone to keep burning.
Does the state, which has spent all this time and money studying this, do they have any experts who can help us on scientific and safety questions?
They don't give us really any context.
Yeah.
NFPA has recommendations, which
Yeah, what are they? Let's look at that.
NFPA 85, I believe, is the standard, I think, or 930.
Could you see that? I mean, if it's nothing, no, within 10 feet of a dwelling, within 30 feet of a dwelling. I think that's our our magic number. That's what we need to know. And also it would be to a parking lot. Because you don't want cars parked next to one of these. That would cause even more trouble. They, if
I'm just thinking of this as, I don't know if this is like a natural gas tank that could,
they don't blow up, they just, they
Okay.
smolder.
there are things that blow up.
No, these smolder hot for a long time.
What was it, what was it in the train that in East Palestine, Ohio? I don't know what it was.
Fluorine gas.
Anyway,
Yeah,
my range of knowledge is very limited and therefore the range of possible risks is very wide. And I just feel like I need more information before I can make a sensible decision.
And then the last note I would love for you all to think about, on the very last page of this recommendations, they have notes on special permits of other things that municipalities may want to talk about or may be able to add on. That's including visual renderings of the project. I think that's a great thing to add in. I think we're often looking for visual renderings or elevations and we don't necessarily always get those. So I think having that specifically is a great thing. Obviously I'm biased, but I also think that connectivity, wildlife habitat, and threatened and endangered species or NHESP reviews should be incorporated in some of these projects. A lot of where these projects may go is more open.
that's all part of their application matrix. Remember when we went through that, their whole point system? When you,
Yes, but but there's caveats. to
Chicken
it.
Little, I'm gonna call you out on this stuff.
I would just, I think it's great to have, if we could have to a safe degree, obviously, I don't want it, I think safe, but a landscaping plan X amount of feet away from the fence on the outside of these that have, like I say, pollinator friendly species. They have raised fences for small wildlife paths, things like that. If you all.
Sure.
if you-
No, you're right. That's when as I've watched these come in. That is one thing I've noticed. You take. Yeah, it's not an industrial complex, but they fence it in. So you lose an entire ecosystem.
Yeah,
So you took the trees out. And you don't even have grassland anymore.
no, it's hated.
Well, they have grass, but nothing can get in there. Deer can't get in there, small animals can't get in there. All you have is rodents and birds
So
inside where the solar fields are.
if you all would let me,
I'd be very happy to come up with some suggestions for that as well. If the board thinks that that'd be something that would be beneficial to incorporate
They
into.
put owl nests in there.
Don't get me started. Something box would be great. But just something that we don't have right now. We have like landscape plan mentioned, but it's very more so for aesthetics and not for functionality of our ecosystem along the landscape. I would love to see a little bit of a combination of that, and that would include having more robust landscaping plans potentially for these, or more robust landscape definitions of things that we would like to see. Maybe not required, but we could have suggestions of things that would. The
You
board
would do they have ways to do a raised fence that would ensure their security and still? Because that would be a good
It
idea.
would just be something that is not solid on the bottom, a little bit raised and has a little wider. I mean, it would be really for small wildlife.
Like, I mean, on this thing.
You could say woodchucks, you could say snakes, you could say frogs, salamanders.
Yeah.
A lot of
Rabbit.
amphibians in that regard are where, especially in this town, I think a lot of our industrial belt primarily is located along a huge wetland corridor. So a lot of the species we see in that area where these projects would probably go into because of the improved electric along the 102 passageway is areas where we have high numbers of amphibians and reptiles that already can't really cross our landscape. And then we're going to be putting up these barriers in areas where they still have trouble. And turtles is another good example. Also, they're always drawn to hot surfaces, so like pavement. In the spring when they're migrating, they want to try to stay warm. So things like that is what I immediately think of, but could be, depending on how big rabbits or, we don't think mice can pretty much get into anywhere.
Snakes.
Most of the time, they're little crafty critters, but that is one thing that I saw this and I was like, I need to talk because that makes me happy.
I have a question.
Yeah, hit me.
Every town is gonna do exactly what we're talking about. Why don't the towns all come up with suggestions? And let the state pick the best of the group, and issue their findings.
Yeah,
I mean, this seems like a
No, that's-
gigantic waste of time.
What they do, they send out their model bylaws and just throw it to the towns.
we did suggest that. We worked with the RPAs to talk about that. That's just not the way this process is
They
going.
never have.
People will object that we have home rule. That would violate home rule.
Or, we'd have different wildlife here versus here, so how can you negotiate? How can you have the same regulations? in
But it
both
just
areas?
seems repetitious.
Oh, yeah.
Every town.
Which is why I'm a big fan of looking at what people are doing and saying what we like or don't like, and then not copying, but using that as inspiration. Again, the ones I have supplied to you, I think they're a little older, but it's a good example of what they have for some standards, and feel free to look at that for inspiration or not, but I would love to, if the board would like at the next meeting, which is the 22nd, I know that would be a.
If we can, now
But,
we might not even get to any of this the 22nd. That'll be a big meeting.
so we can put it on the agenda and then.
We'll put it on there.
But,
um,
I'd love for your.
I mean,
opinions.
looking there. I think a lot of this would be incorporated into a alternative energy bylaw is what we're going for,
I think so.
which would incorporate our wind, our solar, tweak it a little bit,
Yep.
change some of the definitions
We
and we're
won't
there.
have to do much
No.
for those two. at all.
And even this, you have, you set the definitions for the battery storage, you set, the setbacks are a big deal. So that would be state fire code.
I will have, well. Do you want to schedule the fire chief to come knock?
Not the
Next
20th,
meeting?
but no, it'd be
The
a
meeting
waste of
after
time
that?
for him. Yeah,
So
if he can have some knowledgeable input, not anecdotal.
He is knowledgeable. but
Yeah,
For sure.
He usually does.
July 13th. Do you want to,
Yeah, that sounds good.
so we could just continue this topic to then?
Yep.
But then your homework has over a month.
No, but we gotta get after it.
I can do that.
Brooke, has BRPC taken a look at the model bylaws? Do they have
Yeah.
comments?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just thinking about like what are the other towns, like, sure, we've got other towns, but no,
Yeah.
these aren't in the area,
No,
so.
there's not
what-
any really that's.
See, and we're pretty unique. We, because our connectivity and our
Yeah.
lack of space.
Yeah.
We're not gonna see it, you know, the towns that are really nervous, Peru, Beckett, they're Blanford, yeah. Yeah, but there are, even their fencing, there's interesting ways. I was at a facility today and you know, your basic black metal fence. And then what a lot of security places do, they'll put the fence up, then they put the barbed wire up top, right? So this one had the black metal fence and it rolled at the top. Place looked great. It's the DEA office over in Latham.
Hmm.
And it looked great. And I'm like, look at that. They did the fence with the barbed wire without having to have that ugliness. It's pretty cool.
There are ways that we can,
And it
you
was-
know,
Yeah.
work with applicants to have it be everything that they need, but then also make it visually appealing to the town, even if it's these industrial contracts.
So I think you were asking for some preliminary reaction to your frogs and snakes question.
Yeah.
And I would like to see something included in the proposal. I'm not committing to vote for it, but I'd like to read something.
No, Peter, as long as you give me the green light to give you some information.
That's what I'm asking. Yeah, I'd like to review the information. I think other board members, okay?
I agree. That's since we've watched these systems installed, a few of them. And yeah, as much as I support the alternative energy, you watch them just basically isolate an ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to have,
Bad.
you know, rabbits and frogs in these places, but I wonder about woodchucks, you know. Maybe you've been over to that art place over in Ghent, New York, where they have the outdoor art. They have a lot of that out. It's worth going to. It's called Art OMI, OMI. And I think you can make a $20 contribution, but it's free to just go and park and walk around the probably, I don't know, 100-acre grounds. Lots of art, outdoor art. And much of it is mounted on concrete slabs that have woodchuck holes under them. So if you know, if what we're putting in encourages woodchuck holes under lithium batteries, I would not be for it. But let's see what you come up with.
So no matter what, there'll still be either concrete or, you know, asphalt or an impervious pad.
I've been battling a bunch of them this year.
I mean,
They
you gotta,
got underneath
they
my
gotta take a
patio.
lot of stuff out before a concrete tab.
My patio just fell out.
Oh.
Yeah. Woodchucks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With my wife, I'm not allowed to take care of it, so battling with it.
Take care of it in the mafia sense, right?
Make him an offer he can't refuse.
Well, these battery storage systems, I mean, solar is like multi-acre thing. Battery storage thing is a couple of tractor trailer size. cabin.
Sometimes, not always. Sometimes they're large also. They
There's
can
no
take
upper
up
limit, is there? That depends on what the
how
grid
they want
needs.
to tie it in. I mean, and we had a battery storage system for years at Willow Hill. Every year we would renew their lease. Yep, they had two, and that's what it was. It was two trailers up there. Yep. But now it's in the news, so here we are.
Do you know how many megawatt they were?
I don't remember. It was
Some
such
of these
a,
things are so condensed.
yeah. Yep. I mean, they got the Tesla wall packs for residential, which I mean, that's still gonna be by right.
Yeah.
Okay. Was that pretty much your report too?
A
No,
little bit more to talk about.
you're okay.
So, one thing when Norbert was here, this past Saturday, we had a tree planting ceremony over at 300 Stockbridge Road. Thorn Hill. And, we planted 50 sweet gum trees that Norbert was able to fundraise for and get donations to purchase. And we planted those trees in honor of newborn babies born in Lee last year. So it's a ceremony where you go up to 300 Stockbridge Road. You can see there's a sign and it has the names of those who wanted to participate of the babies born in Lee. And we had a ceremony, so there's a bell in the back because we ring.
Yeah.
We announce the names and we ring a bell for every time. And it's a traditional German ceremony that Norbert brought to select board, the schools, the fifth graders planted the trees. They're now adding into your son.
Yes.
They are adding to the curriculum to learn about forestry and the importance of planting trees, what trees do for the environment. And then eventually when the trees are old enough, again, it will be a while, but harvesting trees as well. And then we can directly use that, still have the carpentry class into the carpentry class. That was a really awesome experience. We're looking forward to hopefully continuing to do something similar every year.
It's cool.
It was really special. There's about, I don't know how many, there was plenty of people that came. The parking lot was full. I was there. It was really special. It was really awesome to see all the parents with their babies, and we had a little time capsule that we planted or buried, and it'll be dug up when they graduate high school too. So little mementos and notes and pictures and little shoes and
So
clothes.
is this gonna be a yearly planting, or what do you think?
I hope so. I think it was a
Neat.
great experience. I think the fifth graders had
Yeah.
a really great
Something up
time.
there.
Fifth grade class project every year,
Yeah,
the planting of the trees.
and then eventually it'll be the harvesting when they're older, you
Did
know?
he say hi to you?
I wasn't there when they
Oh.
were planting it all. No, I wasn't able to make it. I was only there at the actual ceremony on Saturday, so that was great. I'll also say Cornhill Farm Park has a lovely path mode into it that goes out and around and back. I don't know how, it's probably about a mile. Our DPW is mowed to the grass, and it is a fantastic time of year to see grassland species such as bobolinks. I saw indigo, or I heard indigo buntings, a bunch of finches and sparrows, and really beautiful wildflowers, and some really awesome habitat features, lovely views, and a great walk. So big thanks to the DPW.
Can you tell she's excited?
I'm really excited. It was really fantastic, and it's so special to actually see this property that's been not really used for, how many years, finally being able to be accessible by the public. So I would recommend if any of you are
That's great.
bored to go take a nice, lovely jaunt over
So how do
there.
you get in there? You going off of Stockbridge Road?
Yep,
Is
yep,
that next to the Leaperville driveway?
correct. There's a sign and it says Cornhill Farm Park.
Oh, there's a sign there.
Yes, there is now. All of our signs are matching for all 4 of our properties in town, including Lonco, Cornhill, Ferncliff, and Golden Hill.
There's a parking area in there?
Yes, our DPW put it all in, including a driveway. It probably fits easily 30 cars, and there was a little excess area where we had some dirt that people parked.
You just drive in the driveway and
And park and enjoy. We don't have any kiosks up yet. We don't have any mapping yet. We're hoping, we did get some funding for a path S for CPA. So we're just waiting for a confirmation that we got some other funding that we applied for. And hopefully we will secure construction this year, maybe even finish it this year. Really very excited for that, but you can see what a part of the path will be, because part of that path that's already mowed right now is what the ADA path will be. And you can see the pipe, but you can see October Mountain distance, and it's really beautiful. And so that's my one plug. We had a great event. I'll also say we were actually awarded a Mass DOT grant for the bike share program that we applied for, kind of on a whim, I'd say. We were approached with this idea by VRPC for a bike share program.
what is
Yeah.
that? What's a bike share?
So have you been to like the city, like New York City, and you've seen the
Oh,
The city
the
bikes.
scooters, the city bikes that you can rent, and then you have to put them back at a chargeable location? Same idea. But in the town of Lee. And so we were awarded $250,000 for that to get started. I'm as surprised as you all are. So,
When, where, how?
I will let you all know when we've solidified that. They'll be stored. We have,
Oh, my
We'll be
God.
storing them at the outlets. So we have a partnership with the outlets that we'll be able to actually store them inside at one of their vacant buildings. We will have about, we'll have about
Yeah,
seven.
when you find them.
So we have about 7 locations where there will be bike racks that will lock. And the thing is to check them out, to get them out of that, you have to put your information in a credit card, even though it won't charge you. If you don't put them back, if they go missing, there is also a company that's a large part of the funds. The company tracks them, maintenances them, like keeps them up to date. They're the ones that were purchasing the equipment, but then they're really doing the whole kit and caboodle.
So can we take some of that money and right at the end of Terringham Road, make a nice little parking lot there?
You know,
It's gonna be parked right on the bike path? And then,
so far we were able to get storage locations at Big Y across the street, but as soon as those clear out, I would love to talk to MassDOT about potentially doing that there instead.
I
Or in
think
addition,
Francesca was very
yes, so that's part of an idea.
interested in that.
And I will also say for those locations, on that letter that I shared with you all, they did suggest reach out to the town for a different location for those contractors at Turingham Road and across street from the outlets. And I don't know which one, but one of them did reach out to the town and is potentially taking over a lease at BW starting July 1st. So we should have some movement there as well. The other, I haven't yet. But that was a great grant that I really didn't think that we were going to get. So we got it.
Good.
It's going to be called the Berkshire Bike Share. It's a mouthful. Other than that,
Like to see you on one of them.
I fought for an hour today to get a new water line out on Route 20. And we
There you go.
don't need a water line. The people don't need water to drink. I mean, they can ride their bike out.
We don't have any, no,
anyway,
can't go down Terringham for the spring water anymore either. So
That's right.
that's gone.
so that was big news that we got like last week before that. So yeah, how fun, right? Other than that, we're applying for some more grants. We applied for a one-stop grant with the help of BRPC or for BRPC to help us write a downtown revitalization plan. This was my idea. I approached CJ and Laura for hopefully a next year project, not a this year project, to get funding to have a plan that addresses parking, facades, what do you call them? Municipal features such as, trash cans and benches and things like that that we commonly have across downtown, but are they actually located in good spots? What are the conditions of them? When will they have to replace them? As well as some marketing and branding guidelines or the beginning of a direction, because it's something that we don't have in town, and you will see with like some of the signs that we have at all of our town properties now, how we're trying to start to have a look that's recognizable. And a big part of that is using the same font, which is like such a silly thing, but using the same font, having, a slogan or a logo or something, similar colors. So I really hope that we get funding for that. That would be a great thing to have in a toolbox. So as we go forward with some grants, especially revolving downtown revitalization, or like we got the vacant storefront grant, which has been great. No one's taken us up on that yet, which is difficult. But this would have been a great thing to supply with the vacant storefront grant, that we already have other plans. We have other, other partnerships with the chamber and with CDC and other organizations. This hasn't been done before. This is downtown revitalization plans aren't common plan, like the master plan or the OSRP or something like that. So this is kind of a brainchild of myself and BRPC. So I'm hopeful that we get funding for that. We applied for that last week. And then the other grant that we'll be applying for at the end of the month is a brand new Department of Fish and Wildlife Habitat Management grant. And we are hopefully going to apply for this for Cornhill Farm Park. There's a lot of invasive species across the landscape. We do have an invasive removal plan that we got last year, the year before that with, what is their name? Conservation Works. And Andy has still been really our main contact for, he was the one that also made like the trail design and things like that. He's still been working with us on that. But hopefully
we're gonna apply for that for some, just habitat improvements for the grasslands there, for more for prairie grasses and for removing a lot of the invasives there. I think that is most of the things going on right now. And then obviously we're still working on consolidated permitting. Again, I went to another kind of information session last week that Rick Collins, who is the head of the siting and energy division, gave at the BRPC hosted. And he said that there would be updates, and there wasn't really many updates that were given. But every time that I go, I do get some more clarification. So I do feel pretty hopeful that as soon as July 1 comes around, which is when their dates, that is when they want towns that are ready to be able to start using the process. So hypothetically, their process should be solidified by that date. Hoping that that happens, so then I
And
can get-
October 1st is the big one, right?
that's when we have to. So
Or-
July 1 is the.
Right, but he also said,
October 1 is. the-
he also said it's not gonna be an end all if we're not there at October 1. You missed that part?
Well, we have to accept applications and we have to start the clock.
Yeah.
But we don't have to change any of our bylaws. So what he says, I don't.
We got it, right.
We have to
We
tweak our
need to.
bylaws to make them in harmony with what's the protected uses, but for the process, we don't have to besides except or, you know, the select board being the ruling body of the town to appoint a local government representative, whether that be a board, a department.
That's the big thing.
That's the only thing that they have to
Only
do.
thing.
So also, if you all want to talk about at another meeting, if you all have a recommendation for the select board of who you think that should be, we could have a formal letter to the select as well.
Aren't you the obvious choice?
I would say the
Or-
land use department,
Land use department, so,
because
so
we
then
will be in.
Colby, two of them could work on that.
That way, I mean, one of us is out, we still have somebody that can receive
let's-
applications.
Let's, for next meeting, have a letter for us to send to the select board, please. Recommending the land use department. Sound good?
That's everything.
If it can be a department and not an officer.
It
Yeah.
could be,
Can be a department, a board,
Oh,
or a single person.
It's moratorium. It's not got a absolute expiration date on it.
6 months, November 14th,
November 14th is the expiration date of the moratorium.
or when we have bylaws in place,
That's where I was going with this. If we don't have a bylaw in place,
November 14th.
How soon do we need one?
it's still November 14th.
Right now.
Yeah, you were trying to tee something up for some meeting. in-
Wow. You know,
Yes, that's September.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
to-
I mean, I can see another.
Unless the AG's office reviews and says that will be.
Sure.
It's always
Oh.
a potential. They've done that to other
These
communities. I
fancy
think
stuff,
because,
man. Yes.
Something's got to go through.
I think because we've written that moratorium to be temporary on commercial only and only for 6 months, that I'm hoping that the AG's office doesn't say that's not allowed because if it's a protected right, I could see them saying it's protected right, you can't have that moratorium on. So we sent it to the AG's office. We haven't heard yet. You guys know how the AG's office can be. But right now we act upon it. We have it in place until they tell us that.
So if we have a town meeting in September, we adopt a bylaw revision
Yeah.
and the AG's office has not approved it. And that goes past our moratorium date. Then what happens?
As soon as we adopt the bylaw, our moratorium gets nixed. Because that's how,
The adoption at town meeting,
correct, correct,
not the
Correct.
approval by the AG.
correct.
We can,
Because we act upon it at the time that the town is voted upon it, even if the
Town's
AG
voted
then
on
later
it, right.
says. incorrects it.
they can always strike it down.
Right, and the state could come back and do what they did with the AD law that we worked on for a month, and then we
Yeah.
came up with a great one, and
Didn't
then.
it? Yeah, I know. You know,
Sorry. But, you know, not to foresaw.
there wasn't even rumors about that they were doing that. And then they did the housing bill and that came out of it. And it's like, oh, great.
Oh, the last thing. if we wanted to talk about this again at special town meeting, is that I think that the RPAs have had some success in having a draft, or they will have a draft model bylaw for seasonal communities coming up. I haven't updated myself on where the legislation lies yet, but I think that it should be completely settled by September. And that could be something that we would bring up again, or we could wait till next town meeting, also next annual town meeting. Up to you all, some food for thought.
Is that up to us or is that up to select board?
Well,
The designation, I mean,
um,
the adoption of the designation.
I guess the adoption designation could be the select board. We would be the bylaws, which they should go hand in hand.
There's a bylaw component.
There will
Seasonal
be.
community.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have a set amount of time to adopt it.
After you sign up, you
Yeah.
get money and then some period later, you need to
You
have
have
the
to
bylaw.
have bylaws, but it would look good if the planning board had a positive referral to the select board for that.
There
If
was-
they thought it was.
there was one part in there that really freaked everybody out with, small lot size and small, frontage.
In the deed, there's a deed restriction in there too.
Yeah,
Remember, right? That's one that freaked me out.
but the lot size and the, frontage, I think we have,
Yeah, okay.
what do we have, like 2 properties that might fall in
Yeah.
that?
We have.
So there
Two
again,
that would
it's
be
not an issue. for us.
two? What?
So Colby and I looked through all undersized properties, and only 2 that still meet those, because you still have to have 10,000 square feet and you still have to have X amount of front, I believe it's 100 feet of front, in order to have that undersized lot.
Hey, water and sewer. Oh, wait a minute, the bylaw that we are gonna be required to adopt
Mhm.
is in certain cases gonna require a frontage requirement no
Yeah.
larger than 20 feet. So isn't that potentially every lot in town?
No. No, you couldn't create non-conforming lots. It would be lots that are already currently non-conforming. You're only
Yeah.
do one off
You
of
could
West.
make one like that, but if you already had one, something
Yeah.
like that, you
So there's one off of West Road and one off of, oh, it's not Prospect, but it's the one right before Prospect.
So these are lots that
St. James.
pre-existed zoning. They're old lots that pre-existed
Yeah.
zoning.
Yeah, one is 70 St. James, which is a large parcel, but only has 43 feet of frontage on St. James. And the other is, oh, I had all this information. Didn't need it so much. I know it's on West Road. Believe it is 125 West Road, which has 50 feet of frontage.
So
And
that's the judgment, the
Mhm.
legislative judgment behind this was that I guess that towns have used zoning to restrict housing
yes,
and to make it unaffordable. And that the way to fix this, at least in very small part, is to set a maximum frontage requirement of 20
that
feet
one.
on some lots. And we have
That's the only frontage.
many lots at 100 feet.
Yeah.
And some more, I think. Some more anyway.
Yeah.
oh, we have plenty more than
Yeah.
120. The smallest that we really have is 50 feet, though. We don't have any lots that are really under 53. I think this one that's 43, I'm only looking at one part of the frontage. There was more listed on the assessors.
I just want to raise the question, if we think the legislature lost its mind, we can just drop this, but if we think that the legislature may be onto something, that maybe lot frontages are too large, maybe they're gonna come after, this problem again in a different way later. But I wonder if we should spend some time thinking ourselves about whether frontages are too great and are in fact making housing too expensive.
Been talking to the state?
No.
That is what that is.
Yeah, I mean,
We just-
I don't know if they're right or wrong, but I
No,
feel like
they're-
this is something we should have a position on.
I zoned out a little bit, but there was a discussion the other day. That Berkshire Regional, and it was about some new bills and guidelines coming down from the state about lot size going under 20,000 square feet.
Yeah.
These towns, but the problem is it was more for the eastern suburb towns that have
Where
done
there's water and sewer.
water and sewer.
Yeah.
You get out here and you really need at least a half acre to an acre to get your well. You need an acre at least to get a well and a sewer in.
They have to be separated by.
Separated by, yeah, the distance. So that is, but there is some state stuff coming out about that.
Yeah, so that's a minimum lot size change that they may impose. It may or may not affect much in Lee, but
There again.
I just thought the frontage thing. It was an ideal from the fifties that, you know, everybody's gonna have nice grassy yard out front and the houses are gonna be, you know, baseball throw from each other. And, you know, we're all gonna have cars and driveways and go everywhere we wanna go in our car. And that's the way the town filled up. And maybe we overdid it. Maybe now we should look at something that allows for a little more density. We already did the ADUs.
Yep.
To allow for more density, maybe the frontage thing.
We had the Bradley Park developments back in World War II. Bradley Park,
Right.
what are the frontages on those lots?
100,
Are they 100?
believe, yeah,
In the
100.
areas smaller.
maybe 75 up there.
125 up there,
How much?
like 100, 125.
Where is this?
Bradley Park
I don't know what it is.
off the East Street.
Oh,
Going down towards Mill.
But yeah, I mean, the US zoning and land use after post World War II, we made everything very car centric.
Yeah.
And, our cities, our suburbs. I mean, we're lucky here. We have a housing development and at least most of the houses look like their own house.
Mhm.
Go down south or you go to the eastern part of the state and it's all the same house. The only difference is this color door or that color door. Like, oh my God, I couldn't stand it. So. All right, you got anything else, Brooke?
can I ask a question? What is going on with ADUs? We have a new system that you put in place to register. ADUs.
STR.
STRs.
Yes, STRs, right?
Yeah, we're doing good. Our first year, renewals are due the 30th of the month.
Maybe we have.
Great question.
You don't-
Here, let me, I
you don't
can, I
need
can
to
get
check
that
it.
for you. No, I can get that for you right
Okay.
now. Because we keep a list of who is registered with us. It's a cooperative, system between the building department and myself, because we have to have inspections of these properties as well. So. We have, 45 in the town.
That's it?
We had more, and a lot of people said, I'm gonna do long-term renting or I'm gonna do month-to-month renting. I'm not doing this process. So we have 45 that are currently registered with us. I think that there's, for unregistered, that we just did a scan the other day, and there's like 4 that we'll send out letters to, that are new from a few months ago.
I thought there was not one.
There
We
There were.
gonna be around 100. didn't we?
There were a lot. of
Right,
people
but
were not
also when you do the numbers of say, if you do a search in town. The main area-
Airbnb or any of those.
but right, the big bed and breakfasts, those also come up as, because they use the same platform.
So we
those are gonna
probably
come up
had
also.
about 60 that were
Yeah,
60 to like 75 that were actual short-term rentals. Some of them were dated, some of them hadn't been in years, and they're like, oh, I didn't even know my advertisement was still up there, I'm not interested. And some, like, oh, I actually don't want to continue doing this. Or like, oh, that was the old owner, we don't do that anymore. So we had still live advertisements, but they weren't actually being used. So we have 45 that are up to date, registered with the land use department.
And does the bylaw seem to be working, registration process, the inspection?
Yeah,
process?
it certainly was a process at first. It was hard to explain to people. There's been certain state guidelines that needed to get cleared out, still do need to get cleared out, regarding sprinklers and things like that. But that's not my department.
The state came down and said that all of them have to have a sprinkler system.
But then now they went back on that and they said, well, pause for now.
Yeah.
So now we're pausing for now.
It was fun.
Yeah, so, you know, we do have to see where that's gonna fall into place, because a lot of these,
Can't make this stuff up.
no, it's a whole thing.
It's, I tell you, there's some people in Boston that wanna put their life mark on sprinklers in every household. They're really trying.
But other than that, the
Insurance people, I tell you.
I get it.
Power of water is more dangerous than fire.
Probably.
I see more water losses than I do fire losses.
That's interesting.
Especially when one of those sprinkler heads busts and you don't.
Oh,
know
yeah.
what's going off. By the time you get out there, you might have lost half the building.
Yep. Yeah.
Dave witnessed the flood. Right? When was that? 60 something?
67.
You guys know about the flood?
67.
Easily, yeah, yeah.
You remember, right, Dave?
I do.
He watched it. He told me the story.
I saw it, yeah.
You saw it too?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they caused it.
Mention signs.
I make a nice photo.
Consistency. On the CPA, can you kind of share what kind of town logo you're gonna use? Because on those projects, we're actually looking to put signage up on folks that receive some funding.
Oh,
So
okay.
when you walk around town,
I can tell you what we have. We're just trying to figure it out, but we just use the town,
yeah, do you have an idea? Because we have someone that's kind of has a RISD background that he is for us.
I can send you the signs that we have. We'd like to keep the same.
Yeah.
The same font, which is Georgia. It's a very simple font, and then the town seal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just ask one more? I did ask about ADUs and I met. I'm interested if you know anything about ADUs. Nothing at all.
I mean, it's by right for many
So
people.
I just wondered if you heard.
No, there's two,
There's a couple. Yeah, the
couple
biggest,
going
the
in,
biggest one is that Maple that we have.
Windlehurst.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the one that I probably have.
Is it like a backyard house?
No.
No,
Oh, it's like
totally
like an
standalone.
accessory. structure.
Go up, Maple Street by the ball field. And then when you come out to the intersection where East Street comes down, straight across, that's an ADU.
Came out nice.
Yeah.
Came out real nice.
It looks like a house.
Yeah.
Looks like a little house, yep. Looks really good.
Very nice. That's
And there's,
Front porch, back porch, full.
there's one going in Abbey Court, an apartment above a garage. At
On Tamarack,
Tamarack, yep.
but that's not an ADU, that's actually attached to the primary
I
house.
was thinking that, they were
don't
calling
need
it,
an
I
ADU.
don't think it's an ADU,
It's a
no.
complex,
Now it is, yeah.
because it's attached.
Yeah, at first, I don't think it was gonna be attached and then they.
So there hasn't been a flood of ADUs,
No.
a couple.
Couple.
Okay. Thank you for the
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
Up on
And-
Graylock Street, there's a house that just went in, just down the street from that high school.
Right,
We drive by it all the time.
Briggs,
Place
Yeah.
with the dinosaurs and the ghosts.
yeah,
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
Cliff Briggs.
Is that on a separate lot? The new one?
It's complicated, I think. I don't know if the old house is going away or not, but that lot's very large. There's a lot of frontage there. There's plenty of frontage for two houses. Here, I'll
First
pull
of
it
all,
up.
it was gonna be an ADU, and I saw the size of it.
Oh.
That exceeded the size of an ADU.
No, that's good.
I will say though, ADUs can be attached or detached, so we do have some ADUs going in that are like above garage apartments or in-law apartments like that, but I don't really have those numbers. I'm not really, the building department will wrote me if they feel it necessary, but since it's by right process.
Look at how big that lot is. That's where it's going.
So there's one big lot,
Yeah,
so there's two primary structures
yep,
right now
right
on the
now.
same lot. That's not.
I think he's not Form Day it. I thought the first house is gonna be torn down.
Yeah.
Is what's happening, so.
The only time with ADUs I'm really involved is when somebody wants to short-term rent an ADU or allow an ADU on it, and I have told them no.
You can't.
I remember now. Thank
And I will say out of all the things that have been the toughest for people to understand or the thing that they've gotten the most upset about, it's that particular clause in our bylaws.
The numbers don't work
For the ADU?
for, if you're from experience, what you get out of it, it's just barely gonna cover your mortgage. Not gonna offset any capital expenses.
Yep.
Cause we're about 3 months for rental here. It's done after Columbus Day. There's no ski season, there's nothing. We've been doing it for 5 years now. And it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
We thought there'd be a summer or a winter ski season. Nah.
Yeah.
There's nothing. They'd rather stay at the Red Lion Inn or a hotel, a real hotel.
More timeshare.
Yeah, timeshares. Yep.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brooke.
Thank
We
you.
all set? Anything else? One more motion?
Turn.
There we go. Second.
Here, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you.